This year you are here because you're presenting your short film, which is competing at the festival. It's called DRS Salute, which translates breaking up, exactly. Yeah. Can you tell us a bit more about the story?
I mean, it's a short film, so the story is not huge, but it's basically a couple is coming to a point in their relationship where they have to choose: are we going to stay together, or I mean, is this serious or is it not serious? So it's kind of trying to bring that moment down in one scene, and where one of them has kind of decided that he's going to break up with the other one, and how that kind of becomes kind of a state, because a lot of time you only see argue and like things go over kind of rapidly, but I think like a lot of relationships are more, I don't know, it's more people can still love each other but still break up, so it's kind of goes a little bit more back and forth between different feelings and different emotions.
You use any of your own experiences to
Yeah, I mean, the original idea of course, like it's been, I mean, a breakup is never easy, and it's a lot of emotions, and sometimes it ends good that you're talking about it and you're like, okay, we're fine with this might be the best alternative, but sometimes it goes completely like you're just splitting up and arguing. So, of course, I mean, a lot of it is from my own experiences. But also a lot of improvised. I mean, the lines itself is improvised from the actors, but then we'll like talked about how to create the scenes together.
You're also premiering your second feature film.
Yeah.
Beach Hug. What is the film about?
It's about finding yourself. No, but it's about, you know, that moment in when you see everything in black and white and you think like, I hate myself or I love myself. I'm worthless, I'm the greatest genius ever. I mean, it's that kind of when there's no like, there's no in between, there's no like scale, it's just, so that's what I wanted to like, that emotion, and trying to, the characters in the movie to find themselves through that.
So what was the biggest challenge making this film?
It was a big challenge in doing something that is more, not as dramaturgically correct, that is not perfect in the, what do you say, in like, here is the first kind of act is over, and like not doing a little bit more floating and a little bit more free in the storytelling. That was the big challenge, but still trying to make it like fast-paced and interesting all the way, because I hate when movies are boring or too long. I
also read that you decided to become a filmmaker at the age of 16, inspired by the film Magnolia.
Yeah.
Is this true?
This is correct, yeah. I mean, I saw it and then I kind of thought about, could you actually work with doing film? I mean, I've never watched movies, but thinking about that aspect, I've always, you know, seeing movies like most people see movies. And then I saw that movie and it kind of got to me in another way, but that's what was the kind of moment when I decided to like start making movies and trying. Okay,
so you are not even 30 years old yet. You have already written and directed 2 feature films. What advice would you give to any young filmmaker?
I've actually written kind of a short thing on my blog where I try to say to people what they should do. But basically, if I kind of shorten it down, is just keep on filming. And as long as you film and as long as you learn from that, as long as you see your mistakes and trying to correct them when you're doing your next movie, you're going to get better and better every time. You're going to develop. So I think like the basic rule is just create and do stuff. And then of course you're going to see movies and you're going to read other scripts just to get and watch other movies at other festivals that are from people that are the same age as you or the same kind of level as you. But I think you have to make and not just sit down and like think about perfect script. It's better to just do something, because you're always going to learn from that.
You seem to be very involved in a lot of different roles at the same time, such as director, scriptwriter, producer, and even casting.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I kind of did everything myself. I did some cinematography, I edited, you know, as you do, because you are trying to kind of just play around. And I've been kind of comfortable in the editing and script writing. I think like my directing comes from, I know writing a little bit and I know editing, and directing comes between like my two visions of that coming together. So I tried to, I mean some directors are only directors, and I'm more of a writing editor who trying to explain my vision through directing.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
I mean, a lot from other movies, but a lot from my own life, from people I hang out with, things people say and yeah, do around me.
And Andreas, can we talk about your first film, Simple Simon?
Yeah.
That was your first film. What does this film mean to you?
I mean, a first film is always a first film, and I think, like, I mean, Bitchcom, which I did as my second film, is more kind of my story. It's more kind of personal in a way. I mean, it's more kind of me trying to express myself. Where Simple Simon, as it's called in English, I rymden, is kind of more of a. I mean, it's important for me because it was the first time I got to do a feature, so it kind of course, it meant a lot to me.
What will your next film be about?
My next, I don't know. I have two features, so that's why I'm kind of going in between. But I actually have my next movie that I'm doing in Swedish is called work title Magic, but it's about two siblings waking up in a world without adults. So it's kind of two siblings and a lot of other children trying to find out what's happened with all the adults and all the parents in the whole world. It's kind of a never-ending story meets Lord of the Flies meets Where the Wild Things Are kind of story. So that's my next movie, which is completely different from everything else. And it's also the third part in the sibling trilogy, which is Simple Simon and Rymden, Bitch Hug, Bitch Come, and then this next one.